Was there another attachment somewhere that wasn't on the agenda last night?
Yeah. Revision from here. Oh, did you get it?
Nope.
He is. Brad said.
It's all right. What, is there a change on the agenda? Thank you. Oh, okay.
You need one too, Tony?
Yes, please.
Revision?
Yes, please. Sir?
It's 4 o'clock. I'll call this meeting of the Executive Committee to order. There are a lot of you here tonight. We're going to hold an orderly meeting. Please don't disrupt our process. We're all here. This meeting was posted by the clerk's office appropriately. We'll rise for a moment of silent prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The minutes of the February 18th meeting were posted in the packet. Are there any corrections? Can you turn it on? Pardon?
Yes.
Thank you. Any corrections to the minutes?
Nope.
There being none, they'll stand as posted. Our first resolution is the 2025 carryover request. Motion and a second, please. Supervisor Schwab, Supervisor Shadrin. Any questions or discussions? I think Aaron might have a few background notes.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Chair. Just in terms of notes, this is our normal carryover resolution. It's our normal technical process. It takes funds from last year's budget that were unspent, typically because of committed projects, or funds that were collected with specific purpose, and it converts them to the 2026 budget. So technical amendment, something we do every single year. And so the information is in the packet for your review. Happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions or discussion? There being none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Carries unanimously. Next up is Resolution 2025, the advisory resolution urging the governor and legislature to enact comprehensive and sustainable transportation funding. Motion and a second, please. Supervisor Schultheis, Supervisor Shadrin. Any questions on this? Even though our transportation plan by Public Works is funded through 2050 and soon to be through 2060 in the plan, this will benefit both the state road makers and the townships, like the bridge out in Farmington perhaps. So, I thought it important to put this in, even though we're in pretty good shape with respect to roads. So, I guess the executive has a comment.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The chairman and I had several discussions about this particular resolution, exactly just as he alluded to our 2060 plan, which is fully funded. I anticipate this resolution or a similar one is going around to all of the counties, to a number of towns, maybe all of them, and through the Towns Association and through the League of Wisconsin Municipalities. But particularly because of our circumstance, it's my recommendation that we don't pass this resolution. It's not to say that we don't necessarily support it, or that we're against it, I guess I should say. But I don't think we should be making asks for, we have plenty of other things we need to ask the legislature for and have. I hate to be making an ask when we don't absolutely need something. So I'm not, I don't want to say I'm against it or opposed to it, but I would prefer if we didn't move it forward at this point.
Any questions or discussion? Supervisor Kelling.
What's the origin of this resolution? Where did it come out?
It came from the Wisconsin Counties Association, and as of last month, 30 of the counties had already passed it. They were looking for unanimous from all the counties. And in my mind, it's more to help the townships that really need the money and not so much us. So I'm in favor of it, even though, you know, there are domino effects all the time. Supervisor Shadron.
Thank you. Just real quick, and I would agree that, with the township meetings that I go to, that's something that they ask for all the time, and they're always shorthanded. So if it helps them, I'm willing to approve this. Thank you.
Anyone else? There being no further discussion, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? It passes. Next up is the resolution authorizing Charlie Kirk Way. And we're actually going to discuss these two together because they kind of fall together.
It's been a motion to do just that.
Okay. I've received over 250 emails and phone messages the last 2 days. I've listened and read every one. And they're all against it. Statistically, how is that possible? It's all the people in the room. Every email and phone message I've gotten has been against this, not one for. So I guess we don't have a mixed county anymore. So I just find that curious. Anyway, we're not going to spend any taxpayer money on this. That's already been decided. So if that was the main bone of contention, fine. Please, please, we know you hate Charlie Kirk. All right, well, let's have a discussion.
Do we need a second motion though?
Sure.
I don't know if I
Did-
can make a second.
moved?
motion.
Nobody moved.
Oh, I thought you did.
No,
Oh, you moved to.
I was gonna
join 'em?
move to actually combine that.
Gotcha.
Well, let's discuss it after or discuss it first and make the motion if we need to.
Then I would refer to our parliamentarian. So it would a motion to combine the two be in order, even though we may vote for them separately.
There are different voting requirements on these particular resolutions, so it does complicate the matter. My recommendation would be to have your discussion because it is a discussion item and potential action item. And then once you've had that discussion, you'll take your vote so we can make motions depending on how that looks. So let's not rule on that just yet. Have your discussion, then we'll go from there.
So clarification, we may discuss this without motion.
Correct,
And then motion each for the actual vote.
correct.
That is accepted.
Everybody agree with that approach?
I do.
Okay. We're open for discussion. We're going to discuss these things separately. Or we're gonna discuss the whole idea and then make motions as we need to. So. Anybody want to talk on this?
Yeah. I'll-
Supervisor Shadron.
Thank you. So one of the things that I had an issue with on this thing was that the $50,000 costs, which a lot of my constituents that I talked to had the same thing. With this change, this is what we're voting on now, correct? With the fact that we take donations only, so it wouldn't be in the tax. That changes things a lot. Another issue that I had with a couple constituents that live on County Road K, if I can get clarification, I see Scott's not here today. But if I can get clarification, I believe that if we do change it, it's an honorary name only. The Highway K would still be the address of the people on that road. I don't know if anybody can speak on that.
Their mailing address does not,
The mailing does not change.
right.
And if emergency,
Please.
so again, the emergency calls, everything's still County Road K. It's just an honorary thing. So. Okay, that's some of the things,
It's not a public hearing.
Yeah,
If we have, we will clear the room.
no,
No,
you're not
the
even.
public forum has been your phone calls and your emails. You came through loud and clear.
so. Anyway, that.
Please. Let the process happen here.
That was my concern. And it seems to be that my concerns are somewhat being answered here. So. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Go ahead, Supervisor Schwab.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll wait till it's silent. Thank you.
Hold it up to-
I had concerns about this resolution because I wasn't really sure where it came from. And having read it, my concerns really haven't been alleviated. As I understand Charlie Kirk, and I respect him, I respect his faith, I respect his intelligence, I respect his confident and courageous discussions in the face of opposition. And yet I wonder if it's wise for the county to be this antagonistic in the face of what we have this evening. I respect him, but then again, there's a lot of people I respect. Are we going to rename a road for every time a person who is courageous, faithful, and dedicated dies? I'm just concerned that I don't see that this action, which it obviously was not intended to be antagonistic, was not intended to be antagonistic, but apparently it is. And it's my understanding that that is not the spirit that Charlie Kirk operated in. Boy, I'm really getting, I was going to vote no, but the way these people are acting, I'm actually getting ready to change my mind. I was going to vote, I had considered voting yes for the sole purpose of giving all the county board members the opportunity to express their opinion. And then having heard the outcry today, I started to wonder if that was the right course of action. So I'm still torn. I would not want to be intimidated by a crowd who doesn't want to see someone honored, but by the same token, I questioned from the beginning, are we going to honor everyone? What's the purpose? What was the real impetus behind wanting to honor Charlie Kirk? I'm concerned that it was more political than practical. And I'm still trying to figure out which way to go. And I would hope that my fellow executive committee board members have some insights to share. Thank you.
Supervisor Kelling.
I have very deep feelings about this. I appreciate the people that are here. I don't agree with all of them. To me, Charlie Kirk was an incredible human being. And he wasn't killed for speaking. He was murdered, assassinated for speaking. And anybody who agrees with that, is un-American. And I say that right now. I don't give a crap about intimidation. I'm giving you back your same energy, sir. And if you don't shut up, you get the hell out. Oh, you want to be made? You want to be made? No, you don't. Now, here's the thing. I have no problem with naming Charlie Kirk Way. I don't. I have no problem naming it Jordan Stoltz Way. Because he's somebody who's done an incredible thing. He's part of Washington County. He's somebody I believe in. Please let me speak. Having said all that, it is my impression that tax dollars are not appropriate for use with this particular issue. We just cut $3.2 million from our budget, and it was a tough budget. It was very difficult. It was hard on the employees. It was hard on the staff. It was hard on the public, quite frankly. So I do not see a need for extending this $50,000. Having said that, if a private organization wishes to raise the money, hell, I'm going to donate.
The taxpayers then
Don't even. One thing you'll learn about me, first of all, I don't put up with it. I never have, I never will. Everybody on this board knows it. So I'm Dennis Kelling. Yeah, I guarantee you it ain't going to happen. So this is what it's going to be. I am going to vote no. I don't want any part of any taxpayer dollars going toward this. However, I will vote yes to Charlie Kirk Way if that's the will of the committee to pass this to the board. And then we will have a discussion with the full board so that they may be able to weigh in on this the way it's supposed to be in our elected system. And if I get thrown out of office for doing the right thing, so be it. I don't care. I care about the public. I care about doing what's right. That's why I don't want public tax dollars used for it. One more time and out you go. I ain't screwing around.
This is not a public hearing.
No questions. I'm speaking. This is my floor now. There is. Frankly, it's disgusting. Some of the stuff I've seen online about people celebrating Charlie Kirk's murder and posting disgusting memes
I've been seeing it since I've been here. I saw the whole thing. I don't, you ain't gonna hear that out of me. And again, this is not a debate. This is what I'm doing. I'm voting yes to Charlie Kirk Way, and I am voting against any sort of public finance for it. If a private group wants to raise the money, let them raise the money. And as far as Jordan Stoltz, hey, I hope he does get a private group to back him because I really think he should have a place. But even there, with a guy we can all agree on, I won't fund it with public funds. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
The lady asked for what is the process? The process is we're going to talk about it today. We're discussing it. It will go from us to the county board unless we unanimously vote it down. And the county board will decide. We have 21 supervisors, not 5. And last month we put in a resolution that any naming or unnaming of roads needs a 3/4 vote of the board. So that's 16 votes, or it doesn't happen. So I know you're all upset, but we're gonna follow the process. I don't know if it's gonna go through or not. We'll see, but we're not going to spend any taxpayer money. I'm sorry, this isn't a public hearing.
And we didn't know, maybe coming into here, that we didn't have the opportunity to speak, and obviously, no one could speak anyway. I was asking.
This is not a public hearing. You will not speak anymore, ma'am. Supervisor Schulteis.
Thank you, Chair. Could I ask that we read what the definition of a public hearing? No.
Yeah, yeah.
Could we explain,
This has not been noticed for a public hearing. We don't have public comment by our county code, Supervisor Schulteis.
explain to our guests what a public hearing is and how it's being,
A public hearing, Supervisor Schulteis, is generally a meeting that's been noticed as a public hearing. People sign in and speak, and it's something that's a different kind of procedure than what we have here today. This is a business meeting of the executive committee.
them to understand that.
You done?
Yep.
So Supervisor Schulteis, did you wish to speak?
I just wanted to say that, echo what I've heard from my colleagues here, that I was going to be voting no because of the tax dollars. I did not feel that that was appropriate to use tax dollars. But since we have the change in that, I'm still deciding which way to go. But I would appreciate if the people who have attended from the public would allow us to discuss in our normal meeting pattern the way we do, since it's not a public hearing, and that we would have an opportunity to carry on lively and respectful conversation.
I wish we could do that. It remains to be seen. But I'm sitting on the fence with this too. This is divisive and I don't see a huge upside. So, I'm like Supervisor Schwab. I'm leaning no. I might vote yes, but I think it needs to go to the full board. It's a 21-person decision. So that's where I sit right now. Supervisor Kelling. I looked at his name over here.
Thank you for that. And I appreciate that this committee, is having issue coming up with it. I appreciate that it is divisive. We have to make decisions that are very difficult for the county. And I don't believe that you want to be intimidated. I don't believe you want to make a decision that's rash or hasty. I think you need to be careful. And that's part of what I'm talking about with the outburst that I had, because look, I don't believe that intimidation is something that should be happening in our government. We are all just regular neighbors. We're not some highfalutin senators and crap like that. We're just truck drivers, ministers, homemakers, construction workers. You know, we make up this community and we decide for this community. And your power is in your vote. That's where you make your decisions. Now, I would very much like to move through both articles so that they go to the full board, because I do believe everybody needs to weigh in on this for their communities that they represent. And this is paramount to how we get things done. Now, as far as Charlie Kirk Way, that I believe is a majority vote. We said what, 3/4?
Yes,
Okay. And then the money is 2/3?
yes.
Okay. So as this moves to next month's meeting, that will be where the board will make the final decision. I believe at this time, I would like to move it forward, but not actually recommend it. So basically what I'm saying is that I would vote yes to both, to move it to the full county board, but without recommendation.
I would second that.
I think that's wise. We can have all the discussion we want, but I don't think we're gonna make a rash decision, like you said. Emotional decisions are usually bad decisions, so, we have a motion and a second.
Further comment.
Go ahead.
I would, I agree with that. I think it is important to forward this to the full county board. I would not want to deprive any of the board members the opportunity to voice their opinion and to have a full discussion. Obviously, this is an issue that is important to all of our communities and to the county. And I would not want to cut off debate by voting no on it here and silencing it. So yeah, absolutely. Let's move to the full board. Hopefully in the meantime, our guests will perhaps have time to investigate further and learn about the way county government works. We are elected as representatives. We represent our constituencies and we act on their behalf. That is the purpose for which we've been elected. There is no public hearing required for this sort of thing. If there were, it would have been required. It would have been posted in state statute. But that is the way we operate, and I believe that's the way we should move forward. Thank you.
Mr. Executive, do you have a comment?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, committee members, for your thoughtful discussion. I also received hundreds of emails and hundreds of text messages and phone calls. And I want to say thank you to all those people. Many of them were upset and disgruntled or against it in one way, shape, or form. Not all of them. And I want to thank everybody who took the time to be here today, because I know I think Supervisor Schwab, you mentioned the process for how this got here. I think it's an important process. And like or dislike what Charlie said, or like or dislike the politics of his, especially at the end of his life, his ability to have discussions with people who don't agree with him. And the discussions that I've had in the last 36 hours with people who admittedly from both of us don't agree on ideological issues. I think that's exactly what this country needs, is those discussions and us talking to each other again. And I understand the emotion. I understand the frustration when you feel like you don't get to have a voice. I spent months and months and months on the road. And one of my favorite things to do especially at places like county fairs, was walk over as a Republican in a partisan race to the Democrat booth and have conversations with people that don't agree with me. Because I I think that's what Wisconsin's missing. I think that's what America is missing. Now, whether we name this road Charlie Kirk Way or not, I think the fact that this many people were willing to take the time to write an email or to make a phone call or to come here and park all the way up the street and walk in here, I think that's a positive thing. And I think you having this debate and struggle, I mean, I just heard somebody say it. Everybody knows Washington County is an overwhelmingly conservative county, but that doesn't mean that we aren't listening to other voices. I think to Jeff's point, at least in his case, everybody who called was a dissenting opinion. That's good.
Excuse me, but I also might add that the vast majority were very respectful, polite, and, you know, they were good about it. So I appreciate that.
As do I. And I am grateful that even as some emotions have bubbled up behind me and in front of me today, like in the end, we can have a thoughtful dialogue and go through the process and decide, is that what really we want to have? Is that what Washington County really represents? And maybe in the end, we do name a road after Charlie Kirk because we think that's representative, and maybe we don't, and that's okay. I also want to mention, I know these resolutions are legalese, county board supervisors get used to them, but constituents never do. General fund transfers are a procedure, whether it's tax money or whether it's donated money, the county board still has to appropriate through a general fund transfer. The amendment that has been referenced but not read came from a lot of the phone calls and the emails that probably many of you behind me, and certainly those who are on TV land, have sent, making it very clear. Like even some of the people who called me were like, I love Charlie, but don't spend $50,000 in tax money on this. Fix my pothole in front of my road, which happens to be in a town, not a county. But long story short is I'm proud of this committee for being willing to have this discussion. I'm proud of the people who are sitting behind me who are willing to make their voices heard, and they are heard, by the way. I even read the little writing on that sign there. I'm grateful to live in this county, and more importantly, I'm grateful to live in this country. And I hope a hell of a lot more counties and a hell of a lot more politicians are willing to do what you're doing right now and listen, and then discuss and make a decision. And whatever you decide, we live with. So thank you. And thank you.
We have two resolutions you need to vote on each. Okay, but you can do that.
So we can vote on both resolutions to carry them on the county board with no recommendation. So
to contribute. Are you offering that today?
if you wish.
Thank you. While I read the material, the one thing that escaped me is who authored this resolution?
You're on.
Oh, thank you. If you physically wrote it, the county attorney's office drafts up all of our resolutions, but how we got to that was after Charlie was assassinated, there were several conversations I had with supervisors about ways that we could recognize Charlie and what he represented. And in the fall, I think that was the first time I had a conversation with Supervisor Shadron about the concept of naming a county highway, which led to a conversation with the chairman and then later led to the resolution itself. So the actual authorship, like all resolutions, comes from the county attorney's office, but the concept came from a multitude of conversations with county supervisors and others. No, I just said several of us talked about it. That's not how it works. That's not how it works.
Any further discussion? There being none,
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, sorry, you can't see me over here. So I want to thank you for passing this along to the full board so we can all discuss and debate this. I'm in favor of this. I like the idea of getting money through donations better, but I would also be okay with using tax money for this. Thank you.
Supervisor Schwab.
Thank you. Your microphone's off too. Yeah, I just want to just address everybody and let them know that, does this come up in the next month then?
Yes.
It would come up in the next month's board meeting. That would be April 21st. So make sure you find out who your local representative is and talk to them. Have the conversation. I had 36 phone calls. So I mean, I'm good with that. I'll talk to everybody again too. But I think only 5 of those were from my district. I am going to be reaching out to more people in my district. And when I go to town board meetings and stuff, I'll be discussing it with them as well. Thank you.
What do I do when I call and told that my message box is full, unable to accept any messages? What do I do when I get that from your office?
My guess is an email. I didn't have that problem. So
Call, and I didn't get a response because I couldn't leave a message because the box was full.
Thank you. So we will vote. First up, the Charlie Kirk road name resolution.
I believe the motion was, the only motion we had was to forward both of them to the county board with no recommendation. Is that correct? Was that your motion or did
That
you
was
have
the
a
motion that I had made?
And I seconded.
You need to make a motion on each
The
resolution.
county attorney has informed us we need to make a motion on each resolution. So
But without recommendation, point of clarification.
You're never bound by any vote you take here. So it doesn't really matter, but you can certainly indicate to the county board that it's coming with no recommendation, no endorsement.
Thank you.
And discussion.
go ahead, Supervisor Kelling.
The last thing that I would point out and that I wish to say is that when it comes to this issue, there are very large parameters for this to be passed. And I would not be, like I said, I guess this amendment will need to be carefully crafted. It'll have to be thought through to decide whether or not. From the looks of it, it looks like it's written okay, but I guess I'm gonna have to have a few questions for the attorney after this. When it goes to the full board, I encourage the public, talk to your supervisors and be respectful. Make your phone calls. We want to hear from you. I've talked to over 30 different people and all of them were no. And I agreed with them, but they were very respectful to me. This isn't Facebook that we live on where we could just go and shoot off a bunch of stuff and all the rest of that. This is face to face, people to people. Keep the respect. Then we can get things done or not, depending. But make your voices heard. I have a separate phone line with a voicemail set up that you can call. I would prefer you leave room for my constituents and talk to your own county supervisors because they're the person who's going to make the decision from here, not me. I'll make them from my constituents. So having said that, there you go. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Supervisor Schwab.
Mr. Chairman, I withdraw my second of the previous motion to forward both resolutions together.
And I'll second that.
You withdraw your motion. So I'll look for a new motion. They're being both withdrawn to deal first with the Charlie Kirk Way motion resolution.
Motion.
Supervisor Kelling, second by Supervisor Schwab. Now, we're gonna vote on this. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This is to be forwarded to the county board without recommendation, simply for further discussion and action. After that, resolution for the general fund transfer. Motion and a second, please. Su-
Just a quick question on the.
Go ahead.
Again, this is, it's this one here, right?
Yes,
We're
The
forward.
amended.
Yeah, the amended, because that's not in my packet here. So yeah, I can make that motion then.
motion by Supervisor
Chairman?
Todman,
You'll need to make a motion to amend the resolution.
Oh, I need to make a motion to amend it to this. Okay.
yes.
I'll make a motion for that then, to amend it to this.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second to amend the resolution as redlined.
Mhm.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, now we will vote on the resolution as amended.
No, he needs to make the motion.
I can make.
Motion by Supervisor Shadron, second by Supervisor Schulteis. Is there any further discussion? There being none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And we'll pass that on to the county board with no recommendation for further discussion and action. That concludes the action we have. The next meeting date is to be determined, as it will be a new board in May sometime. So this meeting's adjourned.
Yes.